Hi, I'm Tim Tang, President of Maxpedition. Today I'll be showing you the Solstice camera bag. To address high customer demand, we work with professional photographers to develop a dedicated camera shoulder bag with concealed carry capability. After 2 years of testing and refinements, we now present the CCW-ready Solstice, equipped with a single hand-operated magnetic closure and optimally sized for the photographer on the move.
Today we feature the Maxpedition Fliegerduffel Adventure Bag. The Fliegerduffel meets FAA requirements for carry-on luggage. It has heavy-duty drag handles on each end, a double-strap padded carry handle on top, and a deep zippered pocket beneath for extra storage. There are 2 points of modular webbing for accessories on the top compartment, as well as on the sides. Unclipping 2 of the 4 compression straps gives access to a large zippered pocket with 2 mesh slip pockets inside. This feature is mirrored on the other side. The main compartment is accessed with lockable dual zippers. Opening this reveals 2 zippered mesh pockets on the inside lid, both filled with a soft lining. The main compartment is a large open storage space with plenty of padding. There is a built-in retention strap for additional gear security. Another carry option is the removable, adjustable, tactical shoulder sling with 2-inch pad and attachment points. And one of the most interesting and innovative features of this bag, the awesome hidden backpack straps in the zippered back compartment, which can double as a storage for hydration bladder. The backpack straps come complete with elastic attachment points, sternum strap, and clips for simple attachment to 2 D-rings. This is the Maxpedition Fliegerduffel Adventure Bag. We here at Maxpedition headquarters get a lot of questions about our gear and how best to use it. There was a debate on Facebook about whether or not a 15-inch MacBook Pro would fit in the Sitka Gearslinger. So we broke out the camera, grabbed ourselves a Sitka, and came up with a verdict. It's snug, but the ruling is in. The Sitka can definitely accommodate a 15-inch MacBook Pro. Some folks may not want that glove-like fit they'll get storing their MacBook in the Sitka, however. We have an answer for that too. You can always go a step up in size and tote your MacBook in the roomy Maxpedition Kodiak Gearslinger. Well, you might want to take it out of the Sitka first, but hey, whatever makes you happy.
Hey, I'm Max Joseph. Previously, we talked about Tier 1 rural survival kits, meaning it's actually on our body. Now I'm going to do Tier 2. It's a little bit larger carrier, and for this one I'm using the Maxpedition Proteus Versipack. This has enough equipment in here where I could last for several days out in the field if I had to jettison my rucksack, which is our Tier 3 gear. So just going over this briefly, and this is by no means complete, but this is the basics that you would want in your Tier 2 equipment. On my external pockets right here, I have my flashlight, which is dummy corded in. I also had a flashlight on my body we talked about previously. This is my secondary one. I've got my multi-purpose tool, which ideally would be dummy corded in as well. In my other pocket, I have a compass, which is also a secondary compass because I have a primary on my body with my Tier 1. When employing your compass, always keep in mind that your index finger should be pointed straight ahead to keep that compass pointed straight in front of you. Also keep in mind that that needle will be drawn towards any heavy metal object. So if you're wearing a rifle, or if you've got a lot of magazines on your kit, keep it further away from your body. Also be aware of power lines and large deposits of metal and or metal buildings, etc. On this military lensatic compass, I have both the forward sight and rear sight. By looking through my rear sight, lining with my desired point, I would then rotate my bezel ring to line up with my north-seeking arrow, and I would keep those two aligned. I would then walk to my desired point. External pouch out here. I've got a broken down MRE. And when I refer to broken down, we remove this shell from the main plastic envelope because it's far too bulky. We also jettison those cardboard boxes that these individual meals come in, and we just stick the individual envelopes inside of here. Inside the main pouch, the basics here, I've got my cat tourniquet, I've got my Israeli dressing that go obviously right on top where they're easily accessible. Lastly, I have my 15-foot sling rope with 2 locking carabiners in case I need to negotiate any rocks or do any kind of descents. For descent out of helicopters down cliffs, I'm going to employ a hasty ranger seat, and that is tied as follows. I get a bite in the center of my rope. I bring the bite through my legs, bring my running ends through, up and around, cinching it down, making sure it's nice and tight for both safety and comfort when you break. On my left side, I will then tie a square knot, and I will half hitch each side of that square knot for extra safety. At that time, I would stow in the excess in my pocket, taking my carabiner, bringing it down and through both my ropes, and rotating around so my gate is up and away. I'm now ready to hook on my main line and rappel with my right arm as I come out of that bird. So if I have to drop my main rucksack because of escape and evasion reasons, or possibly I'm getting in trouble in the water where I need to get rid of that thing, my secondary gear, like my Maxpedition Proteus Versipack here, is great because it stays on my body, but I'm not fully encumbered with the rucksack. I'm still able to run, and I'm still able to sustain myself in the field for several days if necessary. Stand by for the next one. I'm Max Joseph. Right now we're going to talk about my Tier 3 equipment if I'm out in the field. We already discussed Tier 1 earlier, that was what is on my body. Tier 2 is in my butt pack or my secondary equipment. Right now for my Tier 3, I'm using for an example here, a Maxpedition Falcon-II rucksack. Everything that we're going to be going over here is the basics. What you're going to have in here is going to be totally mission dependent and how long you'll be out in the field. On the outside of this thing, I've got my poncho. In addition to using it in the conventional sense for protecting yourself from rain, it could also be used for shelter construction. It could be used for making a field expedient litter for casualty evacuation, and it could even be used for water crossings if you construct a poncho raft with it. So with all the uses your poncho has, I strongly recommend you carry one of these even if you're just going on a short trip, because it may turn into a longer one than you expected. So that's my poncho on the outside right there. On my first external pouch, I've got my water purification gear, I've got my bug juice, and I've got my foot powder, and I've got several pairs of spare socks on the inside of here. My upper pouch right here will be a secondary pair of binos, dummy corded in. Inside my main pouch, or my secondary pouch now, I've got spare water bottles. I've got MREs, they're broken down. Inside my main compartment now is how I sustain myself for how I sleep at night. I've got my poncho liner. I discussed the poncho earlier. One of my best friends told me that the two best things that come out of the Vietnam War was a P-38 can opener and a poncho liner, and he definitely was not wrong. So this goes with the poncho for your sleeping gear. Also in the main compartment, I've got my rain jacket. I've got small toiletry items, and also I got more MREs in here. So this is just the basics of what you would want in your Tier 3 equipment for a short-term mission. Everything is going to be mission-based on the duration and the environment that you're working in. Hey, so just once again, covering the concept of these three different tiers of sustainment or survival equipment. In case you have to escape and evade or get in trouble when you're in the water, the first thing to go would be your Tier 3 equipment. That would still leave you with your Tier 2. If for some reason you had to jettison that, you've got your Tier 1, which is on your actual body in your pocket. So thanks for watching this Maxpedition sponsored Tier 1, 2, and 3 survival tips. Hopefully you learned something. Any further questions you may have, contact dag-usa.com or maxpedition.com, and we'll definitely see you in the field.